Good morning. My name is Vijayan Prakash Pandey and I am from KVSECL Narozabad. Today I am going to teach you the last lesson of Vistas, Memories of Childhood. Children, we often hear people talking about their childhood days, and when they talk about their childhood, they feel happier, they feel elated, they feel more joyful. But if we talk about these two stories which are there in this Memories of Childhood, we cannot say the same. Because somewhere the authors of these two stories, they have not experienced their good old days. They had suffered. In the first story, The Cutting of the Long Hair, which was written by Jitkala Saw. Jitkala Saw is a pen name of G.S. Bonin, and she was born in 1876. And the other story, We Too Are Human Beings, it is written by Bama. She is Indian Tamil Dalit writer, and she was born in 1958, and she still is working, she still is writing her novels. Now we'll come to see the similarities of these two stories, and then we'll come to the dissimilarities. First, the similarities. Both the stories, they are autobiographical in tone. The stories are the personal experiences of these two writers. Now, both the writers, they come from the marginalized community. They were suppressed, and both are female writers. And in both the stories, the anecdotes are based on their childhood humiliations. They had to face these humiliations at very early stage in their lives. Then, now we come to the second part, that is the dissimilarities between the two stories. The name of the first story is The Cutting of My Hair. I told you it was written by G.S. Bonin, the pen name she adopted later. Jitkala Saw. She was born in 1876, and she was a Native American, and she had to face oppression. Then we talk about the other story, We Too Are Human Beings. It is written by Bama. She was born in 1958. She is Tamil Dalit writer, and she had to face caste discrimination when she was in class 3rd itself. So one can imagine what they went through. Now, I will start with the first story, The Cutting of My Long Hair. If we study little further, in all the works of Jitkala Saw, we find that she has most of the times criticized Carlisle Indian School. Well, the purpose of this Carlisle Indian School was to take out these Native American from their surrounding and give them better opportunity, better education. But in the name of that, some kind of oppression, discrimination was going on. In that process only, Jitkala Saw, when she was a kid, she was in school, she got admission there, and that school was there in the land of apples. It was a bitter cold place. So she never wanted to go there, but she had to. She went there, and the very first day, the experience was not good for her. the first bell was tapped, the first bell was given, and then she heard the clattering of shoes, the noises, the running of children from here to there, and she was not in her best of the minds. She was not happy about these things because she had not experienced these things. And she was also not willing to come to that school. This way also. So she had to follow the instructions by one of her matrons, a pale-faced woman. She was very strict, so she also followed others. And while she was walking, she realized that the dress the girls were wearing, it was very tight. She didn't like that. And as she has coined the close clinging dresses, she didn't like it. She was feeling uncomfortable in the dress. And then the shoes, the clattering, and she was considering those dresses as the immodest dress according to her. She was not at all happy about that dress. And then she saw 3 boys coming from other side, and they were watching them, they were looking at them, and she became more uncomfortable. So she didn't like that beginning. And then somehow she managed to go to the dining room because the bell was for the breakfast. They all reached to their dining table, and again when the first bell was given, and when the first bell was given, it was supposed that everyone should pull their chairs back and be ready for the prayer. But because Jit Kala Saul was unaware of these rules and regulations, as soon as the bell was given, she immediately pulled the chair and sat on. She sat on the chair, whereas the rest of the students, they all were standing and they all were praying at the second bell. And she was looking here and there, what actually is happening. She was confused because she had not been told about these things. And she felt very uncomfortable. Then the third bell was given, at which they all were supposed to start their eating. So when the third bell was given, everybody started having their meals. But she was sternly watched by that same pale-faced woman, her matron. And she again felt very, very uncomfortable. She didn't like anything there. Well, somehow it all ended, but it was not over as yet. Because very soon she was informed by one of her friends, I should say the only friend, Jude Wing. She told her that she overheard that pale-faced woman saying that we are going to cut the long hairs of these girls. And Jit Kala saw she was having that long hair. When she heard this, that her long hair is going to be cut, she became restless. Because she had heard from her mother that only the mourners have shingled hairs. Only the armies, the captured soldiers, they have short hair, shingled hair. So it was a sign of misfortune for her, and she did not want that her hair should be cut. She told this to Judwin, but Judwin said, well, they are powerful, there are so many, we cannot fight with them, ultimately we have to surrender, we have to submit. Judwin said this, but Zitkalaswa said, no, I am not going to submit so easily. I will fight. Let me see what happens. And when she got the opportunity, she ran away. She slipped from there and she hid herself in one of the rooms under the bed. And when the time came, the students, teachers, they all kept calling her names, but she would not answer, she would not respond. And she kept on hiding herself there, under that heavy green curtain. Then, after some time, somehow one girl managed to come to that same room, and she knowingly, unknowingly dragged that curtain, heavy green curtain open, and as soon as she opened that curtain, there was a light in the room and anybody could see that Zitkalasa was hiding under the bed. She was caught. They started dragging her from under the bed. She resisted. She fought. She scratched them. She wept. But nobody was there to listen to her. She was carried to the barber. She was tied to a chair. And then the time came. She felt the coldness of that season on her neck, and she knew that the time has come. And she started remembering her mother. And then, but still she had not given. She still was fighting. She still was trying her best, whatever she could do in that situation also. But as soon as the first plate braid of her hair was gnawed off by that scissor, she submitted. She knew now she cannot do anything. She had to submit. She started weeping. She started remembering her mother. She felt, she realized that she has been only facing humiliations after leaving her mother's lap. She is being tossed up like a puppet, wooden puppet. She has always faced humiliations. People have stared at her. There was nobody to console her, to say some kind words to her. She wept and she kept on weeping, remembering her mother and indignities that she was facing. But she could not do anything. So this humiliation and maybe many more which she faced in her life had given a huge impact on her memory, long-lasting impact on her memory. And later on she became a complete changed woman, changed person. It can be seen in her writings later on. Most of the time she is critical of such operations. So, I hope you must have understood this short summary, and please note it down these points because this will help you to recapitulate the things and then I'll give you a few questions, few very important questions for the assessment part, and please do write these questions so that you can prepare this lesson very well. Now come to the assessment part. Yes, so about that assessment part, I have written few important questions, and you have to answer them, these questions. The first one is, how did Zitkala Shaw try to prevent the shingling of her hair? Now, you can see, children, first of all, whenever you write answers, you have to focus on writing the value points of the answer. Most of the times, children, they write vague answers. But you have to find out the value points. What are the value points of that question? I mean, what are the value points of that answer? Only then you will score full marks. So be prepared for that. So the question is, how did Zitkala Shaw try to prevent the shingling of her hair? We all know that when her friend Judwin told her that their hair will be shingled, their hair will be cut by the matron, by the administration, she became angry. She didn't like it. She had heard from her mother that only those hair are shingled who have lost in the battle, the soldiers who have lost in the battle, the mourners, the cowards, but normal people, they don't get their hair shingled. So she considered herself absolutely normal, and she thought that, why should I get my hair shingled? Why should I get my hair cut? But when her friend Judwin said that I am going to submit because they are powerful, she said, I am not going to submit that easily. And she hid herself, she slipped from there, she hid herself in one of the rooms, under the bed, in one of the dark rooms. When it was found by them that she is hiding there, she was dragged out from there, she was taken to that chair, barber's chair, but still she kept on fighting. She kept on shouting, she kept on crying, she kept on kicking them, scratching them, shouting for help so that they could leave her. So even at the last moment, till her last moment, when the first braid was gnawed off, she kept on fighting. She didn't give it up. So she did every possible thing to save herself from getting her hair shingled up. So this way you can write the answer of this first question. Now we'll come to the second question, which is, at the dining table, why did Zitkala Shaw begin to cry when others started eating? Well, you might remember that at the dining table, when they were close to the dining table, there was a rule. When the first bell was tapped, when the first bell was given, they had to pull their chair and wait for the second bell for the prayer. But she immediately pulled the chair and sat, because she had no idea what was to be done. Nobody had told her. So when everybody was praying, when everybody was keeping their head down and praying, she was looking here and there. She was sitting on a chair, which was not supposed to be done. So in the process, she was sternly looked by her matron, pale-faced woman, who was not at all happy with her. She was very angry with her, Zitkala. And when the third bell was given, they all started eating with the help of that spoon and fork. But she had no idea how to do this. She had come out from a very downtrodden place. She had no idea how to eat with the help of this fork and this spoon. And already she had committed mistakes by sitting. So she was confused. She was not at all happy. And she had seen that lady staring at her in anger. And she knew that I am going to get that punishment for that. That's why she was upset. She was not at all happy with that eating by formula method. First bell, second bell, and third bell. That's why she started crying. And she was not happy about that dining hall experience. So you can write that. You have to choose the value points to get the full marks. Then we'll come to the third question, which is, according to Zitkala Shah, what does eating by formula mean? Yes, she has coined this phrase, eating by formula. She had come from a very downtrodden place, and they had not heard of this tapping of bell and this praying and then eating in a scientific and systematic way. That's why she didn't like it. And she said that you go to the dining table, you sit there and you start eating. But here in this school, when I went there near the dining table, the bell was given, then I had to pull my chair, then the second bell will be given, and you will have to pray. And then after the third bell, you will start eating. And these all seemed a formula for her. So that's why she has coined this eating by formula. I hope you have understood. So these are the three important questions. You can write. Now I have given you the hints also. You can write the answers. You will have to write the answers. And if there is any confusion, I think if you write the answers, that will be clear. And I hope you have understood this lesson properly. So now we'll move to the next story, that is we too are human beings.